Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, H.S.P.O just filed an 8K, and I'm seeing a deadline extension that sets up a potential liquidation watch. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This filing is all about setting a hard stop for Horizon Space Acquisition I Corp, telling us when they either need to make a deal or win things down. So, what is going on with Horizon Space Acquisition I Corp? This is a company that is essentially in the business of finding another company to merge with, a so-called SPAC or Special Purpose Acquisition Company. They raise money through an IPO and then have a set amount of time to find a target company to acquire. If they don't find one, they're supposed to return the money to investors. Now, this filing dated the 20th of April 2026 is an 8K report, which is used to announce major events that shareholders should know about. The big news here is that the company held a shareholder meeting and got approval to change some of their core agreements. Essentially, the shareholders approved extending the deadline for the company to complete a business combination. But here is the crucial part. This extension comes with a new, firm end date. The agreements have been amended so that the company must either find a business to merge with or start winding down and returning money to shareholders by the 12th of June 2027. This is a critical development because it puts a clear time limit on the company's existence as a SPAC. This change also involved amending the company's official charter, its governing documents. The shareholders approved changes that state the company has until the 12th of June 2027 to either complete a business combination or cease operations and return all the money from its trust account. This is a really important point because it clarifies what happens if they don't find a deal. They have to give the money back. Now let's look at how the shareholders voted on the 26th of March 2026. They set the record date, and by the time of the meeting there were over 2.4 million ordinary shares outstanding. Most of them, about 89%, were represented at the meeting. This shows a pretty good turnout, meaning a lot of shareholders cared about these decisions. The first proposal was to amend the charter, essentially the company's rulebook. Shareholders overwhelmingly approved this, with over 2.1 million shares voting for it, 0 against and only a small number abstaining. This tells you that the shareholders are on board with setting this the 12th of June 2027 deadline. The second proposal was to amend the trust agreement, which deals with the money held in trust. Again, a massive vote in favour, with the exact same numbers as the charter amendment, over 2.1 million for, 0 against, and 100 abstaining. This solidifies the understanding that the trust funds will be liquidated by that June 2027 date if no deal is found. Now, this part is really interesting because these proposals passed and set a clear deadline. Some shareholders decided to redeem their shares. Redemption means they ask for their initial investment back plus any interest earned. In this case, over 34,000 ordinary shares were redeemed. This reduces the total number of outstanding shares to just over 2.3 million. This is a common occurrence with SPACs as the deadline approaches. It means that fewer shares will be outstanding if a deal goes through, or fewer shareholders will be around to receive money if the company liquidates. It is a sign that some investors are de-risking their positions. The actual documents showing these changes are attached as exhibits. Exhibit 3.1 is the special resolution from shareholders to amend the company's memorandum and articles of association. And Exhibit 10.1 is the actual amendment to the Investment Management Trust Agreement. These are the legal papers that make the 12th of June 2027 deadline official. Scroll Horizon Space Acquisition I Corp. Date the 23rd of April 2026 by Per Mile Ingyu Michaelai name, Mingyu Michaelai title. Chief Executive Officer. Scroll the report is signed by Mingyu Michaelai, the Chief Executive Officer on the 23rd of April 2026. This filing is essentially the company formally documenting the decisions made at their shareholder meeting, which sets a clear timeline for their future. So what is the big takeaway here? Horizon Space Acquisition I Corp has now officially set a deadline for itself. By the 12th of June 2027, they either need to close a deal or they will liquidate. This is a critical turning point for any SPAC. It shifts the focus from simply finding a deal to finding a deal within a defined time frame. For investors, this filing provides clarity. They now know the latest date by which they will either see a business combination or get their initial investment back. It's like a ticking clock that every SPAC investor watches. The number of shares redeemed also gives a hint of investor sentiment. It is not a huge percentage, but it shows some investors are already cashing out as the deadline looms. What I'll be watching is what kind of companies they might be targeting or if any potential merger talks are already underway. The market for SPACs has been tough, And getting a deal done before the deadline is crucial for survival. The fact that they almost had 0 votes against these changes signals strong shareholder confidence in this plan, as they are choosing to extend and solidify the liquidation date rather than facing an uncontrolled dissolution. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.